Come on. So, so we have, I don't know how many of you know this, but in Texas it's frequent for all buildings to just be sort of like the cool hangout zone for cockroaches, a specific kind of cockroach, the American cockroach. See, I was about to get to that part. And so it's typical for, hey! Chill it! It's typical for homeowners to sort of like you would hire somebody to come mow your lawn or someone to come service your air conditioner. It's typical for homeowners to hire someone to come spray for pests preventatively. So I haven't seen a cockroach in months living. Well, no, that's not true. I see them all over the place when I'm walking around outside. But I don't care. They can be outside. That's fine. I don't care. It's not my deal. Yeah, I lost a dice there. That's their home. I'm not going to come into their home and tell them to leave. That's rude. So I'm not going to do that. But I don't want them in my home. Because their little scurrying movements are too much for me. And it's awful. The first month we lived here, a month or so, this house had been empty for a few months. And so we moved in and we didn't realize the thing about the cockroaches. And it was just like every time we opened a cabinet, it was like there could be a cockroach inside. And then we would open it, we're like, yes, there is a cockroach inside, in fact. So then I like posted on Nextdoor. I was like, hey, what are these bugs? Hey, like, how do I get these? Hey, how do I get rid of them? I got a lot of options, but the most thorough option is to spray this stuff, to hire someone to spray this stuff. And I have no idea. I don't feel great about what it's doing to the environment. The company that we use like promises that they use like organic chemicals and like safe whatever, and it's safe for our dogs. So we asked them if it was okay for us to let our dogs out after they come, and they said, "Oh yeah, it won't hurt your dogs." But we do have other bugs that seem to like survive the big spray. So I don't know. Maybe it's really not that bad. I don't know. I'm blissfully ignorant. Because I just don't want the cockroaches in my house. We have a crawl space underneath our house, and I've never been, but Ben has, because we had to do something when we were installing some sort of ground. Hey, no barking! Come back! He did install something or move something when we were installing some sort of grounding wire. Hey, you don't need to bark at me. Thank you, Fifi. Fifi's a good boy. Juno's an itchy dog. And he went under the crawl space and he discovered just how many cockroaches there were. It was awful. The way he described it just made me want to vomit. So I don't plan to let them survive. Yes, Finn. Yes. Finn does not. I don't know how Finn feels about the cockroaches, but Juno loves to chase them. Actually, no, that's not true. They both love to chase them. Because when we go for a walk outside, if it's dark already, then they will hunt the cockroaches and attack them and chew them, anything. It's really gross because they sort of do the cat thing where they like play with it and it doesn't die and they're just like, look at me, I can tip you over. And it's like, okay, you just kill it. If you're gonna play with it, just kill it quickly, painlessly. I don't love the cockroaches, but I don't wish that upon anyone. Yeah, I don't kill cockroaches when I'm outside, but my dogs can. Yeah, so I haven't seen a cockroach in months inside my house, and that is good. I haven't even seen them dead in my house. They don't get that far. So, anyway, welcome to Friday. I got my dice. I'm gonna roll them. Roll them, roll them, roll them. It's warm in here already. Welcome to Texas. All right, all right. This is a nice. Well, this could be interesting. This is going to bring us to 90s. 29 years ago. I don't even have to do the math on that one. That's 1991. So, June. June 5th. 1991. June 5th. 1990. Not 1999. 91. It's funny because there's like a lot of like on this day and stuff, websites, but basically it just tells you like what your horoscope was, and like some, I don't even know if they like really put very many historical events. So I look for I don't think I know anyone whose birthday is today, but if I did, I could know someone who this is their birthday, because this is close to my age. Okay. I'm just gonna go straight to Wikipedia. It didn't even show up on the first results, and that makes me happy. June 1991. June 5th. There's like in the one that doesn't even have all the dates from June, it has things. So President of Algeria, Chadli, sorry, I got distracted by a notification. Ben Jadid dismisses Prime Minister of Algeria, Mouloud Hamrouche. Wow, just butchered all of that. Following 11 days of anti-government demonstrations, replacing him with Sid Ahmed Ghazali. I recognize any of his names. South Africa repeals the last legal foundations of apartheid, the laws that segregated places of residence and employment. Nice. STS-40 Space Shuttle Columbia carries Space Lab into orbit. Ooh, Space Lab. Nice. Okay, so there's a lot there. 11 days of anti-government demonstrations in Algeria. That's something. Now, what's weird to me is that like there is, for all other days that I've done this for, I have found like a specific Wikipedia page for that month of that year. June 1991. I'm not finding that here. No, I didn't. That's a bummer because we're going to be in June for a while. Okay, well. Okay. So, President of Algeria. Okay. We shall look these people up. Maybe at least I can learn how to pronounce them. Okay, so who is Chadli Ben Jadid. Now they give the pronunciation in Arabic. I'm not gonna be able to read that. Let me see if I can take it to like. Oh, French, interesting. Arabic. I don't know about right. Pronouns. Two pronouns. So they're all giving me French, which is interesting. All right, howtopronounce.com. You are basically as good as me. Aha! There's a wikimedia.org. Shadley Benjamin. So that's a US pronunciation. Cool. Oh, all right, I see. You'd think that would be on his Wikipedia page, since that's where it came from, but whatever. And then how do I pronounce it? Well, this guy's name. How to pronounce Arabic. Okay. Hamrouche. Mouloud Hamrouche. It's my anglicized version of his name. Mouloud Hamrouche. Okay, I can do that. Shadley Benjadid. Shadley Benjadid. Not a great way of pronunciating it. That's the word. All right. Sorry. I still had the crusties from sleeping. So he was president, Shadley Benjadid. He became Minister of Defense in 1978, and then became president following the death of, oh boy. This is just going to be the game of Mary learns how to pronounce various Arabic names. All right, howtopronounce.com. You fool me once. See, that's like more like a wiki where people all right, I got nothing. How to pronounce names, pronouncenames.com. Okay, that's French though. Okay. Bourmedian. Okay, so he was Minister of Defense from 1978 to 1979, and then became president following the death of Bourmedian. Benjadid was a compromise candidate who came to power after the party leadership and presidency was contested at the Fourth Congress held at the end of January 1979. Most likely to succeed Boumediene were Muhammad Salah Yahawi and Abdelaziz Bouteflika. I sound like I'm pronouncing, like I'm an Irish person pronouncing German, but whatever. Trying to figure out. In office, Ben Chedid reduced the state's role in the economy and eased government surveillance of citizens. In the late 1980s, with the economy failing due to the rapidly falling oil prices, tension rose between elements of the regime who supported Ben Chedid's economic liberalization policies and those who wanted to return to the statist model. Youth marches protesting the regime's austerity policies and shouting slogans against Ben Chedid evolved into massive rioting, now known as the 1988 October riots, which spread to Oran, Annaba, and other cities. The military's brutal suppression of the rioters left several hundred dead. Well, interesting. Perhaps as a political survival strategy, Ben Chedid then called for and began to implement a transition towards multi-party democracy. However, in 1991, the military intervened in elections from bringing the Islamist Front Islamique du Salut to power, forcing Ben Chedid out of office and sparking a long and bloody Algerian civil war. Cool. All right. He ousted Mouloud Hamrouche. There is not much on him in the Wikipedia. He was the head of the government in Algeria from September 1989 to June 5th, 1991. He was the leading member of the FLN, which National Liberation Front. See, I'm looking at some of these words and they do look French. Front de Libération Nationale. There's a nationalist movement during the Algerian War, and the sole legal and ruling party of the Algerian state until other parties were legalized in 1989. Interesting. So it was one-party state. The FLN was established in 1954 from a split in the movement for the triumph of democratic liberties, split in the movement for the triumph of democratic liberties from members of the special organization paramilitary. Its armed wing, the National Liberation Army, participated in the Algerian War from 1954 to 1962. After the Evian Accords of 1962, the party purged internal dissent and ruled Algeria as a one-party state. After the 1988 October riots and the Algerian Civil War in 1991 to 2002 against Islamic groups, the FLN was re-elected to power in the 2002 Algerian legislative election and has generally remained in power ever since, although sometimes needing to form coalitions with other parties. Okay. So they were part of a one-party state, and now they are the ruling party of a multi-party state. Interesting. So they are currently in power? Yeah, they, it looks like they have, I don't know how Algerian parliament works, but it looks like they have a plurality in the various assemblies. The background of the FLN can be traced back to the growing anti-colonialism and Algerian nationalist sentiments since the outbreak of World War II. tend to put people under house arrest when they don't like them, it looks like. Or when they, want to oust them as some sort of leader. The core sentiment among the Algerian nationalists was to use the victory in Europe to promote independence of the country, which is reflected by the issuing of the Manifesto of the Algerian People by Farhat Abbas. As this objective failed to realize, a new party, the Movement for Triumph of Democratic Liberties, founded by the just-released Masali Haj, started to gain momentum and took the lead in the nationalist movement. However, the Algerian Assembly's double electoral stipulated equal number of 60 representation between the French settlers and the Muslim community, while the Muslim community was significantly larger than the settlers. Interesting. Huh. Isn't that always helpful when you listen to? When did Algeria gain independence from France? I don't know that much about Algeria, it turns out. It's in the Geb region of North Africa. Red. Officially the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Okay, so independence from France was 1962. Okay. So they were occupied by France for 132 years, looks like. Their Independence Day is the 3rd of July, so that's fun. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out exactly what happened. So today, in 1991, the president of Algeria dismissed the prime minister following 11 days of anti-government demonstrations, replacing him with, we didn't even look at that, replacing him with Sid Ahmed Ghazali. Also not a big article in the computer. He was only the head of the government for a year, if that. He was removed from the post of Minister of Energy and Industry by Chadli Benjedid in 1979, becoming ambassador to France, but was brought back in 1988 as finance minister until 1989, and then foreign minister until 1991. And then he succeeded Mouloud Hamrouche as prime minister. He remained prime minister following the January 1992 resignation of Benjedid and takeover by the military. He resigned on 8th July that year, shortly after the assassination of Mohamed Boudiaf. He ran for president in the 1999 elections and attempted to do so again in 2004, but was disqualified by the Constitutional Council. Interesting. Disqualified. So. Why? So, and that was what, in 2002 is what we came up with? 2004. 4. I know, you're so cute. JSTOR. Well, you can download it for $15. It's not really my jam. Imperial Sciences. Algeria's third plural presidential election, 2004, caught the imagination of the Algerian electorate like no one has done before. Previously, the results weren't known in advance, and elections served only to confer legitimacy on the decisions made elsewhere, invariably by the military. This 2004 election seems to be more open, at least in theory, for the first time in Algeria's history. The winner of this election is not going to be the explicit choice of the military. In addition to the neutrality of the army, the autonomy of the former ruling party, the FLN, and the unprecedented criticism of the president, the ingredients for an open and exciting election were in place. While most candidates engaged in negative campaigning, sometimes even at the expense of their political manifestos, the incumbent president stressed his achievement, particularly on the security front. National reconciliation, the way towards the establishment of further peace, dominated his political campaign and turned the election to a referendum on stability. Okay. Got nothing. I thought that it was going to say why he was disqualified by the Constitutional Council. Algeria Constitutional Council 2004. Well, I could go to the presidential election on Wikipedia. It got big, sorry. I'm not even seeing him on the list of candidates. Wow. Maybe because he couldn't get a party to back him. I just want to know why he was disqualified. Or that seems very vague. That could mean any number of things, some of which are probably interesting, but I don't know. It's short of finding like an article about the election that was written at the time, which like I would have thought. And then, but if it wasn't even Sid Ahmed. Oh, okay. Here we go. Political Handbook of the World, 2012. An Bouteflika grouping of the Democratic Front was the party that he was a part of, or that he was trying to be part of. They elected former Prime Minister Sid Ahmed Ghazali as its chair during the 2000 inaugural Congress. Ghazali was not permitted by the Constitutional Council to run in 2004 presidential election, and he was subsequently announced that he was supporting Ali Benflis in that campaign. I don't know why. Okay. My guess is that it was because he had been prime minister before. Because they were talking about how so 2004, the sitting president, the incumbent, won, and the council announced or like declared in some way that would be the last time he would be president. So maybe, so he was prime minister from 91 to 92. Then he ran for president in 1999. I don't think he won. No, and attempted to do so in 2004. But I'm guessing maybe it was because he was prime minister he couldn't run for president. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how making him prime minister solved the whole civil unrest issue, anti-government demonstrations, but shortly after the anti-government demonstrations, it looks like Algeria went to civil war. So maybe it didn't really do anything, and instead they just had a war. I don't know. I clearly don't know that much about Algeria, which surprises certainly not me. Well, yeah. That's Flashback Friday for you. Want to have a good weekend? Be safe. Be strong. I had a dream that I got COVID. It's the first time I've had that dream in particular. So that's fun. Yeah. Have a good weekend. Make good choices, and I'll see you on Monday for Magic Monday. I'm sure you want to end your stream. End.